Did you know that 92% of the world's currency is digital and doesn't actually exist physically? This is just one example of how important new technology and the increasing digital world is being affected by humankind. For many of us, access to the internet, a reliable power grid, and the cars we drive are simple things that we find necessary for life as we know it. But we often fail to realize that most of these technologies are not produced or maintained in the United States. To discover how these things are made and developed, we must understand the basic idea of globalization. Globalization is defined as the process by which businesses or other organizations develop international influence or start operating on an international scale. Globalization is extremely important to the adoption of technology for many reasons, including price, availability, and continuous advancements. But we should also understand what technology even is. Technology is defined as the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, especially in industry. As you can see, this is a very broad definition that can apply from anything from the internet to improved pencil sharpeners. Today I will be focusing on how the electronic technology that is rapidly changing our lives is being affected by globalization. The main aspect of electronic technology that is affected by globalization is price. Most cars that are available for purchase now have integrated Bluetooth, GPS, and touchscreens for our convenience. Computers and smartphones have become cheaper and cheaper, while being more powerful than ever. For example, the first smartphone was announced in 1992 at a price of $1,100. Named the IBM Simon, it was 8 inches tall, 1.5 inches thick, and over a pound in weight. Its biggest selling point was email access. When you look at what you can get now for $1,000 in a smartphone, you realize we have come a long way in a mere 26 years. Now, these improved and less expensive electronics have led to some products bordering on nonsense. Did you know that they make a breadbasket that charges your phone for you? The list of the digitalization and increased adoption of such electronics goes on and on. As I stated earlier, the key to these products is price. The price of technology continues to decrease, making it viable to be put in more and more consumer products. This is simply a product of globalization. As factories and manufacturing facilities get moved all over the world, labor wages, raw material prices, and shipping rates all drop, making low-price electronics available. Without these options, our lives would be very different. Globalization also benefits technology by allowing greater availability of advanced technology everywhere. Again, price is a major factor in availability, but there are other elements that affect if products are available. As products are outsourced to other countries, they become popular in the countries they are made in. This is an obvious benefit of globalization, because it is helping these countries, which are usually developing nations, become more advanced and is allowing them to become more connected with the rest of the world. This is a double win because, as previously stated, it benefits the producing countries, but also the country that the projects originated in, because the globalization opens new markets, yielding more profits for the original company. Another aspect of availability is many electronic products are not a standalone system. They are simply made to be put into another product instead of being used by themselves. So if an electronic is made in the same country as the product it will be placed into, that is much easier than exporting and importing from country to country. For example, it is much easier to put a touchscreen that is made in China into a car that is also made in China than taking the same touchscreen and having to export it to another country. The only problem with this effect is that it requires mass globalization of many products, not just electronics. Another major consequence that globalization has on technology is that with the increase in countries designing, building, and manufacturing these electronics, more knowledge and experience is gained when all this effort is combined. This is what could be described as community learning. For when a company makes an advancement, it can be shared with the rest of the world. Other companies can then branch or advance further on that technology than the original breakthrough. This happens continually, and when this is coupled with competition, It creates an environment that is highly conducive to advancements and breakthroughs. An example of this is the smartphone market. One company will introduce a new feature, and from then on, all other phone manufacturers following this release will also offer this feature. Then, other companies will continue it even further, and so on. This is the main reason electronics have advanced so quickly. So in summary, technology is affected in major ways by globalization. Price is the most obvious and arguably most important, but the availability and adoption of these technologies, along with the breakthroughs that globalization fuels, creates explosive changes, and it looks to be alluding to a bright future. Thanks for watching.